Hey guys, this is Chris, and I just woke up. This is my official weigh-in for 2 weeks, so let's see what the weight is. Turn it on. Step on the scale. Dun, dun, dun. 191.6. I'll take that. That's a little over 7.5 pounds for 2 weeks. I have four more weeks to go on my 6-week weight loss challenge, and I'm excited about this process. As you saw in my 2-week weigh-in, I am down 7.6 pounds in just 2 weeks. I think that's a pretty good accomplishment, and I am loving this process. No, it's not easy, and I wouldn't say I'm feeling fantastic yet. I am feeling better. I'm not dealing with some of the chronic inflammation, although I do feel it occasionally. There was one day, a little interesting tidbit about me is I've discovered I have a histamine intolerance where if I have a lot of histamines, and some of you are like, what are histamines? Histamines are produced in food that's decaying. And when you get a high concentration of it in your body, it can have negative effects. So for me, I end up with migraines. And I had migraines a lot growing up as a kid and throughout my adult life. And it wasn't until I started eating better that those really subsided. Well, a couple of years ago, I was eating good. We had a milk cow. I was milking every morning, so I was making this Greek yogurt every other day. That was amazing. And so I was having that because everybody's saying, "Oh, you need fermented foods to help your gut microbiome." So I had that. I was making like homemade sauerkraut, like cabbage, fermented cabbage, and I even experimented with the kombucha, homemade kombucha, and all of this is fermented stuff. And so it got to the point where I was having 2 migraines a week, and I couldn't figure out what it was. It's like I'm not eating processed food. I'm eating healthier foods, but my body did not like it. So I had to get off of that, and I normalized a bit so I can have yogurt occasionally and things like that. Well, this Saturday I had I guess a higher histamine, my low protein day actually. I had this sliced turkey that we get. It's organic. It's very minimally processed, and canned tuna mixed in. It was really good. It was actually really good. But the next day I woke up and tons of inflammation. I could feel arthritis in my hand and wrist. And that's just, I was just racking my brain trying to figure out what did this. Same day I had onions, and I'm like, oh, that's actually an antihistamine food. I love onions, by the way. So long story short, I realized that, oh, wow, everything I ate yesterday, except for the onions, was a higher histamine food. And I mixed in some cottage cheese in there too, which again is a fermented food. So it's just interesting that your body reacts differently to stuff, and supposedly that could be an autoimmune condition. I don't know, it's hard to diagnose, but that's why for me it's so important that I eat the way I do. And food is so important for many people, whether you feel the negative effects immediately or not. So I'm down to lower carb now, and it's good. I have probably around 20 carbs or less a day, mostly, high protein. Not worried about my fat consumption too much. Love butter, love a fatty steak, but that's my diet, and I can change it up, and it's great. Like, I'm not struggling. I'm not wanting. I mean, I am having some cravings. I have to make food for the kids. I was cooking a sweet potato today for my daughter because they want me to make them some gluten-free sweet potato pancakes, and that sweet potato looks incredible. And those are things that aren't necessarily bad, but they don't fit my weight loss challenge right now. If I had that, I would set myself back probably 2 or 3 days. So I'm like, no, I can't do that. And that's why this challenge is so important. So anyways, I just wanted to give an update on that. Again, these two, every week video for the weekly update is going to be a little bit longer, and just to share a little bit more about what I'm experiencing, what I'm eating. And I haven't started exercising yet. I'll let you know when I do. I'm still getting through this transition, and if I can stick to lower carb and not switch up my days, then I think I'll be able to get to exercising sooner, so we'll try that. The tip for today, I wanted to give you was don't stifle creativity. And this is deep because we do it all the time without even thinking about it. So picture young kids growing up in families and they're very creative, drawing, coloring, imagination running wild, and always asking questions. They're inquisitive. But what happens a lot of times? It doesn't have to be a bad family, but what do? We say, hey, don't ask. I don't want to talk about that right now. Don't ask that question. Or we say something bad like, that's a dumb question. How many times have you heard that in your life? And what does that do to your spirit? What does that do to your heart? All of a sudden you're like, shrivel up inside and all the creativity that is in you goes away. Well, let you in on a little secret. Our society, our culture, our organizations that we're a part of, they are not deliberately, but they do stifle our creativity. And we need to be aware so that we can open ourselves back up to be the people we were created to be, creative beings who are creating and believing in yourselves, being inquisitive, being resourceful, and not worrying about what the world or even yourself has conditioned you, your mind, to react to new ideas. So one, stop telling yourself that you can't do something, and don't tell other people, especially your kids. There's a time and place for questions, but you've got to be careful with your kids and say, whenever they're asking questions or being inquisitive, you've got to praise them for their mind and their thoughtfulness, even if it's so far out there, they're like, man, this doesn't even make any sense. That's okay. Help them make it make sense. And then they'll do the same thing over and over. You can teach them just like you can teach yourselves. Bring that restoration back to your own life and heart, and just thrive from there. So thanks for watching me, and thanks for following me along on this journey. We're 2 weeks into my 6-week weight loss challenge. Again, just a quick recap. In not 6 weeks now, in less than 4 weeks now, we're Manage B, software company that I've been building, is going to be at our first public convention. We have a vendor booth, and we're so excited. We've got a team of people working so hard to put everything together on the product, on the marketing and designs, and it's going to be epic. I'm so excited. This is our first public appearance, and so that's why I decided to tag along this weight loss challenge with that, because it is motivation. And again, that's creativity, and that's creativity you can have. If you need motivation in something, think of something that you can do and say, I'm going to do this, and this is going to keep me motivated. And if that doesn't work, try something else. So thanks again, guys. Reach out if you got any questions or just want to chat. I'm here.